Peace, friends
forever.
Woo! What's up, beasties? It's me, it's Triple B, your friendly neighborhood bearded book beast. And I am so glad you're here. I'm super pumped. I've got a special guest in Beast Friends Forever #2. You know him as Bibliotheory, and some of us lucky enough to read his awesome book also know him as Aaron M. Payne, the author, the booktuber, the awesome dude with the awesome hair and the awesome beard. But I'll let him introduce himself.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on, by the way. Also, real quick, I don't think I ever got your first name. What's your first name?
Of course. It's Chris.
Chris. Oh,
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you, Chris. I know we're bearded book friends forever, so now it's good to know your name as well. But
I know. I should put that in my thing. But I don't know. It was a secret for a long time. Not that anybody cared, but now people know. Now people know.
There's another booktuber who you know, who is Beard of Darkness book reviews.
Yes.
That's actually a question I had for you. When you made your account, did you already know that there was a Beard of Darkness?
I did not. I was actually trying to think of a name when I first started thinking of doing this. And I'm like, what would be a good name? And then I thought of like book and beast. And then I'm like, wait, bearded book beast. So I just went on and like no one had it. So I quick snagged it. But then later on when I found his channel, and then I was like, oh man, good thing it's far enough apart where it's not exactly the same.
Exactly. And your name is Chris, so you're not Matt. So you're two.
So
you're fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thanks again for having me on. I am super excited to be here with you.
Yeah, me too, man.
I can't wait to talk about whatever we got going on tonight, man.
I know. I think we'll work our way through it, but I do want to talk about your book, of course, and then I'd love to talk about both your journeys, your journey for getting on BookTube and your journey for becoming an author. So it's gonna be fun and learn a little bit about you along the way. So it's gonna be fun. All right, sweet. So before we get into anything else, I do think people are here. They want to know about falling into Oblivion. So you are the author, so I will let you give. Yeah, oh yes. Hold that up close. Let me see that.
Let's see that.
Oh,
there
it's so
it is.
pretty.
Well, let me try the YouTuber trick. How do you do this?
Oh yeah, right.
There
it is. There it is. You got it.
Boom.
Oh man, that's pretty. I cannot wait until October so that I can get I can buy a signed copy of that bad boy from you.
All right, I'm excited for you to get the copy. I'm excited to get copies myself because
I bet without the stripe that says
it's a little stripe right here.
I know. That's sweet, man. We'll talk all about that cover in a little bit, but I will let you give the pitch or blurb or whatever you want to say about the book, and then we can talk about it.
Awesome. So right here, Falling into Oblivion. I think an easy way for like comparison wise is Neuromancer meets the Dresden Files. So if you're a fan of Neuromancer, which is a classic cyberpunk fiction, it's one of my favorite works. It's just a blast to read through. It was a journey when I read through that, so we can talk about that one later. But
yeah.
Obviously, lots of cyberpunk fun there. It's the book that pioneered the genre, so that was a huge influence for me. And of course, the Dresden Files. Urban fantasy is like one of my favorite like subgenres of fantasy now that I'm realizing it. Like I'm dedicating all of next month just for urban fantasy because I just want to get into more urban. So I have a whole stack right here that I'm actually saving for another video that I'm going to talk about. But yeah, Neuromancer meets the Dresden Files, and I say that for a couple of reasons. One, of course, as you can tell, it's in the cyberpunk genre, and also it's told from a first-person perspective, so you're following the main character throughout the actions, throughout whatever he's going through. You're watching through his eyes. Very similar to Dresden Files, right? Where you're following Harry Dresden throughout whatever mystery or adventure he's going on. So it's a little bit of that, but essentially, it's a detective who is trying to make ends meet for his family. All right, so it's a story about really a person trying to do their ultimate best to make sure that their family is provided for. And I wanted to just capture the essence of somebody going to the lengths that they do, going beyond and above just to make sure that their family is taken care of and provided for and protected. And I put all that, wrapped inside of a cyberpunk thriller. So you have a classic dystopian city out there. You get the classic cyberpunk tropes as well, with a couple little, add-ons I added that I thought were pretty fun. As you can tell, one of them is a little bit of some creature bots over here that are not very nice, and you'll be able to tell the interactions that our main character has with those things. But that's a little bit about the book.
That's pretty good. That's good.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun writing it.
I could tell because I had a lot of fun reading it. So, I'm wearing this shirt because a lot of people have compared the main character to Batman too, the detective side, of course. But and I it was good, man. It was awesome. It was very good.
Yeah, that quote, I think it was from Josh Walker, who said, "Batman as a detective he's meant to be." I was like, "Whoa, that's a pretty quote, man. Thank you. I'm taking that, and I'm rolling with it."
Yeah, I mean, and I was thinking when I was thinking about us chatting, I was thinking the same thing along the Batman lines as what you said about family. Like, I mean, Batman, I don't want to spoil anything for Batman, but there's the Bat family. We'll just say that. So he does have like a family that he does do whatever it takes to keep safe, and he looks at the city as his people too. That he does whatever it takes to keep safe. And all right, so before I say his name wrong, how do you say the main character's first and last name?
Soul, as in like soul, and then Harcones.
Okay, that's how I read it when I read it, but I'm like, is it Harcones or is it like Harcones? It's got to be Harcones. That sounds so cool. Yeah, like that sounds more like
Harcones.
Harcones. All right. So yeah, just like Saul, he does all this stuff, to keep his family safe, and it was good, man. I can tell because you've got a family, you've got a little one. Now, is it a son or a daughter?
I have a daughter.
Okay. I kind of wondered because I felt like there was some real ness to that with Saul and his daughter and him thinking about her, and it was just really well done. So I'm like, his baby's got to be a daughter.
Well, she is only 11 months old too, so
I know, man.
She's still young, but she's growing so fast. It's insane.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
11 months. So what's she doing now? What's like the latest and greatest thing she's doing?
Crawling around.
Oh yeah.
She's able to crawl around the office, and just earlier she was getting these bottom books down here and just individually pulling one off at a time.
Oh yeah,
just putting it on the ground.
Yeah, that's.
And then she's taking the book itself, holding it as if she's reading it like this.
Oh really?
And just moving it, but the book is backwards.
But how cute is that? Because she's probably seen you reading and wants to be just like you. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be great when I can read to her in the future.
Yeah. So is she pulling herself up too? Then
not quite yet. Okay. She's trying to. She's almost there to where she can pull herself up, like if she's grabbing on to me or my wife.
Okay.
But she's not doing it just yet by herself, off the ground. Okay. But she's getting there.
That's good. So it's one of those things that you're excited for it to happen, but then once it does and they start running around and getting into things, then it's a little scary.
I've heard once they become fully mobile, that's when it's a different challenge, different set of challenges there.
It is because they have no fear because they haven't really experienced anything bad happening from them getting into stuff yet. So it's but they crawl pretty quick too though. So
I know they get around.
I know. You ever crawl and at with them or whatever, and you're like, gosh, my knees hurt. How do they do this all the time?
It hurts.
I know.
The carpet's not that soft.
Right. But I guess when you're that age and you're 15 pounds or whatever.
That's all you know. That's what you do. That's what you're made for.
Exactly. But yeah, man. I was lucky enough to get to read your book, and it was fantastic. I think you're on the right track, man. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing because it was what I loved about it. And this isn't a spoiler or anything, but I don't think but was just that it took place, like the whole book takes place in like one night.
Yes.
Which I think is a very cool like choice, because harking back to Batman, like I feel like some of the greatest like comic stories are like what's it called, do you read Batman comics at all?
I don't.
Okay. Well, there's a popular story that they made like an animated movie about Jim Gordon, who's the commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about like one night where the Joker is just messing with him, trying to see if he can break someone that he thinks is a good man. Or like some of Batman's best runs were all contained in like one day or whatever. So I think that was really cool. Like, the cool thing about it too is that even though it all took place in one night, like so much happens, and it's just like, it's just so much action. But at the same time, I feel like you're pacing for your first book was pretty sweet, man. Like I never got like bored, and I never felt like, oh, it's going too fast or it's going too slow. It's like you speed up, have all this crazy stuff happen. But even though it was just him and you're in his head and he's working this long shift, you found a way to bring so much like humanity and like his family into it and his thoughts. And like, it would slow things down, and you would like connect with him because of how he feels about his family. And you'd get to know, you could like envision what his wife was like and what his daughter was like, even though they weren't even on the page, for all that time. It was well done, man. It was well done.
Well, one, thank you so much. That means a ton. I think this is my first time of talking to someone like besides my wife who read the book. Because she actually read the book, and she read draft 1 of the book. Okay. I was like, so you hate it or you love it?
Yeah.
But she said she really enjoyed it.
That's good.
I'm glad that you did too. I
loved it, man.
I'm excited. I'm so happy to see the reception so far. It's been very positive. For my very first thing that I've ever written, I'm extremely proud of the end result of it.
Yeah, you should be.
I wanted it. I'm glad you took notice of it taking place in a single night, because I wanted it to kind of be reminiscent of a classic thriller book where you're just going, you're in the trenches, where you don't have a week or a month in between certain things. Like this is happening tonight, right? We need to solve this right now.
Yeah.
So I just felt like it added to the tension of the book. So I just wanted it to be something that was always kind of looming over him, which is kind of why I added the whole debt factor to it as well.
I think that was a brilliant side too. Like that was, and it's so relatable. I mean, obviously not that intense with what he had coming after him because of the debt, but just that feeling of like busting your butt to try to, everyone has some kind of debt or some kind of payment or some kind of thing they're saving for hanging over their head. And I think that, you just knocked it out of the park, man. I'm excited to see what the masses are going to think, because I think it's going to blow up, dude. I think it's going to be huge. I
mean, that would be awesome.
You're like, I'll take that.
I'm still on edge every day. I check.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure that's the same with a ton of new authors.
Oh yeah.
You have that whole sense of like imposter syndrome.
Right. Oh, 100%.
You just put it in all. You put in your all, trying to get the best workout possible.
Right.
And luckily, so far from your reception, it's been great.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had a fantastic team behind me that was really supporting me. And that was a couple of the break-ins, which I think you a couple of them, being Josh Walker and Scott Palmer, who are fantastic guys. They both helped me tremendously.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who actually beta read the book and gave me so many fantastic pointers. Nice. And actually, I had one beta reader before that who, which I'm sure this is what a lot of brand new authors go through, is that they give you feedback and they're pretty blunt about it. And I'm very glad that they were blunt about it.
Right. And that's what you need.
That's how I grew.
Stage, right? Yeah.
Because there was at one point, I didn't realize I used a particular word like all the freaking time. It was like every other paragraph I used this one word. I was like, I didn't even notice this. And I read through this like 2 times. So you telling me that is just fantastic. So
oh yeah, man. It was Yeah, like the dialogue was great. Like that's another thing. A lot of times with like a new author, like, and I know like when I've written stuff, like you, sometimes it's so you feel like every time there's a transition between person to person, you have to like say something like they said as they did this, or they said as they did that, or they said, and then like some kind of description, and it's like I didn't even like I just read through the dialogue, like it just clicked through, like it didn't feel like what's the word, like choppy or anything, like everything just flowed, man. It
That's
was
great.
well done.
I'm so happy that it flowed for you, because I know that's one thing that I was struggling with was dialogue, to make
That's
sure it wasn't
hard.
sounding
Yeah,
clunky or
right.
scripted.
Yeah,
Which I'm sure there might be a couple examples of that, but I try to make it as realistic, like a real conversation as
yes,
possible.
yes.
Right?
And I think, yeah, I'm sure there's always gonna be somebody that'll find something, but like I feel like even if there are things that someone finds that they think look clunky, like a real conversation can be clunky.
Oh
Like
yeah.
no real conversation is perfect, you know. There's always gonna be things that people say or do, and you're like, what? But it was awesome, man. And like you had some good twists and turns in there. Like it was awesome, man. And
Thank you.
yeah, shoot. But when it comes out, we should talk again and do a spoiler free and a spoiler chat so I can talk to you about a bunch of stuff that I want to, but I can't now because the book's not even out for everyone. So
I know. I'm definitely down for that. Yeah, we
oh yeah,
got how many weeks? One, two,
it's getting
about 3
close.
weeks.
Yes,
Three
yes.
weeks. It's insane.
That's awesome, man. So cool.
Yeah, I am pumped. I'm also mind blown right now that I was able to have one of my favorite authors of all time, which I think you're a fan of him too. Chris Ferracchio right there
Yes,
was
I
able
know.
to read it.
Oh, dude, that's so awesome.
And I was just, I was mind blown that he even said, yeah, sure. I was like, what? Okay. So that's one thing I think people should take away, is that if you don't ask, you don't
Right.
get.
Yeah.
Right. So
The worst they can do is just say, "Oh, I don't have time." But
if
you
I
know,
if I
he
didn't
said yes.
ask,
That's
so
awesome. Did you reach out to him like in your own time, or was that like did you talk about it during like one of the times because you interviewed him?
mhm.
Did you like talk when you were on off the live or
No,
whatever, or you
no,
just reached
I
out
didn't
to
even
him?
have, I didn't even know I was going to be writing a book when I was talking to
Okay.
him.
Oh,
So
so
this
that
was
was
after the fact.
so. How? Okay. All right. I'll. I don't want to jump all over the place, but I do. So how long from the time you decided to start and you started to when you were like released it for ARC readers and stuff?
Let's see. I wrote the very first sentence in February of this
Okay.
year. And I
Okay.
sent arcs
So
out
this is all in
last month.
2024.
Yeah, this all
Oh,
happened.
that's sweet, man.
I finished the first draft in about 3 months,
Okay.
and it needed a lot of work, which I'm
Like
sure
any
a lot of
first draft, right?
authors are
Yeah.
going to say the same thing about the first
Right.
draft. And that's kind of what my very first beta reader read was the first draft, and that's when he was like, just picking it apart. And I'm so glad that he did, because it helped transform me as a writer, made me see so many things that I was missing
Right.
or I could add upon. So I'm so happy that he did read it. But uh, the whole team, the whole process, it was a learning process for me, because one, I've been talking with authors on my YouTube channel for a little bit,
Yeah.
and they always tell you about how writing can be a challenge. And now going through it, it definitely is a challenge. One thing I think is funny is that publishing a book nowadays is extremely easy. Like, you go on
Right.
Amazon, you can
Right.
upload anything. It's
Yeah.
so
Oh
easy.
yeah. Mhm.
Writing the book is not
Right.
easy.
That's the hard
So,
part. Oh
so
man, yeah. Well, that's crazy. That's awesome that what a year. what a whirlwind of a year for you, I'm sure.
it's been fun. It's
Oh,
been a lot of work,
oh yeah.
but I
I
think it's been
bet.
worth it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think it's worth it because I got to read a sweet book. All right, so let's go back then. I want to know, let's go all the way back to when little Bibliotheory, little Aaron, just a little guy. What was like the first book that you read that got you into fantasy sci-fi and you were like, oh man, this is awesome?
Oh man, good question.
I know, right?
Because I've been a casual reader as a kid for a while,
Okay.
and I picked like back in the day when I
Right,
was
what was your first? What were you reading at first? Let's start there.
what was his name? It's Anthony Horowitz, I think
Oh
it's his
yeah,
name.
yeah. Uh-huh.
He wrote a series called like the Power of the Five or something like that.
Okay.
The first book is called Raven's Gate, which
Okay.
is definitely slightly fantasy because there's some
Okay.
magical abilities going on.
Right. Oh yeah.
And I remember my mom bought me that book randomly because she thought the cover looked cool. I was like, why did you buy me this? And then I read through it. I was like, I'm glad you bought me this. Thank you.
All right. Sweet.
So that was when I was a teenager,
Okay.
early teenager, but I didn't really start reading like I am now, where it's happening every day, until I started watching BookTube.
Okay.
And I was watching, Daniel Green, Mike, of course.
yeah.
Those are the
Yep.
main two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as a kid, I remember also picking up Aragon, if you remember Aragon.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
So when I saw Aragon, the author, Christopher Polini, was putting out a sci-fi book, I was like, that cover looks cool.
Oh yeah.
I know him as an author. I don't know if it personally, but I read Aragon as a kid and I really enjoyed it. So I wanted to pick up an adult book for by him.
Yep.
And that's what really got me started in my
Okay.
whole reading journey. And that was like 4 years ago. Yeah,
Okay.
4 years ago.
Yeah. All right. So you like that one? Was it Sea of Stars? What's it called?
It's right here.
Okay.
To Sleep in a Sea of Stars.
Sleep
I
in a
really
Sea of
enjoyed it.
That's
That
really
book, it was actually a very chunky book.
Yeah, it
book
is.
to
I
start
know.
off. It's like 800 pages.
Yeah, it's a big one. I do. That is one I do want to read too, because I have Aragon, but I've never read it. I didn't read it as a kid. So, but then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll read like his adult thing. I don't know which one I'll read first, but did you read the sequel? Because there's a sequel too, like Fractal Noise. Or
Fractal Noise. It's a prequel.
It's a prequel.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
I
read
read that one? Mm-hmm.
Which one should I start with? Is that one of those
I
where
would
I
totally
should read
say
the prequel or the other?
No, don't start with the prequel.
Okay.
Sleep in the Sea of Stars is, in my opinion, better.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay.
It's just more of a personal connection or emotional connection with the main character, in my opinion.
Okay. Right. Which I love character driven stuff. So
this one's very character driven.
Okay.
So
nice.
I recommend that one. It's a chunky book though. I know
Yeah.
you have a lot of books in your plate, man. I just watched your TBR not too long ago, and then you put out a new TBR. I was like, bro.
I'm crazy. I don't know. Well, and that's why I have to start like being like more realistic, because life always gets in the way and I never read everything I plan to, but it's fun. It's good stuff. So you read that and it got you fired up. You were watching BookTube. So then when did you decide, all right, I need to get into this BookTube thing myself?
I think it was a year. I was basically listening to audiobooks for a solid year before I even contemplated like buying physical books.
Yeah.
And I listened through in the entire, or what was available to me at the time, the Brent Weeks Lightbringer series.
Oh, nice.
So like the Black Prism.
Oh, yeah.
I was devouring those books. I was like, oh my God, these are so good. That's when after I finished that series, I got into the Way of Kings. And that's kind of like how I got into more BookTube people, was like searching the Way of Kings.
Oh yeah.
And the Lightbringer series. And I saw that when Daniel interviewed Brent Weeks, I was like, oh, this is so freaking cool. You're talking to the author, right?
Right.
And maybe it was like 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, I had my own personal Twitter account at the time. And I wasn't friends with any book people at the time like we are now.
Right.
And whenever I finished a book, I would tweet about it and say, oh, I love this book. And I would tag the author. And it blew my mind. Every time the author liked it, I was like,
right. You're like, what?
I showed my wife. I was like, look right here. He hearted it.
Yeah.
So Brent Weeks hearted it. I was like, oh my God, this would be so cool. And then a buddy of mine started a gaming YouTube channel.
Okay.
About Genshin Impact, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
And then my other buddy started a gaming channel as well,
Oh
only
man.
playing indie games,
Oh,
which
that's
is
pretty cool.
still live now. So those,
Okay.
maybe I'll highlight those two channels later. But
Yeah.
um, so they kind of inspired me. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should try this YouTube thing as well. What am
Yeah.
I going to talk about? I was like, I look behind me, I look at my bookshelf. I was like, I want to talk about books.
Yes.
And that was about a year ago now. I put out my
Okay.
first video. So
Nice.
it's crazy. It went by
That-
so fast.
Yeah, you've had so many things. You got okay. So how long have you been married for then?
Oh god, 7 years. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you guys had a nice run doing stuff as a solo couple before you had your first baby.
Oh
Then.
yeah, we've been dating since 2012, so it's been
Okay.
quite a while.
Nice. Okay. That's
High
awesome.
school sweethearts, as some people
Oh,
say.
nice. Yep. Okay, so you started dating in high school then?
Hmm.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, congrats. That's sweet.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So then the last couple of years, you started BookTube. You had a baby. You wrote a book. I mean, that's wild. That's a wild stretch.
It's insane.
Life is
Yeah.
good.
It's a lot,
That is
but it's
a lot,
also a
man.
lot of fun.
Heck yeah. So let's see. Then when you started writing your book, how old was your daughter? Pretty young then.
Oh, she was
A
very
couple
young.
months.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Maybe
February.
3 months old.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's impressive that you got the book done that fast.
It was very early mornings for
Oh,
a while. Actually, I had to pull back from YouTube for a little bit
yeah.
because it's really, prioritizing what to
Right.
focus on.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to focus because like
Trying to write.
there's extra things you want to do, like
Yeah.
play video games,
Oh yeah.
read,
Mhm.
watch movies, and write. It's like,
Right.
and also reading. Like, which one do I
Right, yeah.
choose? So for a
Yeah.
while, I was putting off reading a little bit,
Yep.
which was very hard. Like I
Oh,
felt
yeah.
like if I don't start the day of reading something,
Mhm.
that I miss something. I don't
Yeah.
feel it doesn't feel right.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah.
So, because my morning times are when I get most of my reading done, like
Okay.
5 a.m.
Oh man.
I'm reading right here in this chair.
Nice. It's a good looking spot right there.
Next to
All right,
Master Chief right here.
I do see that. I was just gonna say, is that Master Chief right there? Now, when I say me too, I mean I read. If I don't read every day, I feel like something's wrong because I am not able to get up at 5 a.m. and read. Mine is like at night. Nighttime is like once my kids are in bed, and then like that's when I'm like, all right, sweet. The house is quiet, and my wife goes to bed super early too. She needs like 14 hours of sleep every day. So I'm like, and I'm a night owl, so that's usually when I have 2 or 3 hours to just do whatever,
Mhm.
But yeah, that's sweet. That's a nice routine. Like, have you always been an early riser? Has that been like always when you
No.
got stuff done?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a night owl, similar
Okay.
to you for a longest time.
So you can change these
I don't
ways.
want to. I love the mornings.
No, I mean from being a night owl. Like, because I
Yes,
would
you
love to
can.
be a morning person, but it just doesn't. Because I always have to get up early for a reason, like because my kids are awake or I got to go here or there. So, but I would like to be able to get up because I want to.
Mhm.
So maybe I can be that way, like you, eventually.
You gotta set a reward for yourself. You wake up at 5,
Okay.
you get to read an awesome book.
Yes,
Think about it like that.
I like that. So then when you get up that early, are you a coffee drinker, tea drinker, or do you not have anything like that when you get up?
Usually I get a whole glass of water.
Okay, yep. It's good to start with water.
And then Celsius. I am a big fan of Celsius,
Celsius, nice.
which is
That's what you live
unfortunate.
by.
It's good. It tastes really good. They have a lot of good flavors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's my coffee. It's a Celsius right there.
That's good. It's a good choice. It's probably better than coffee. Oh man. All right. So how long do you think you thought about being a writer? Is that something you always thought about and then just finally thought about it for real recently? Or did you not even think about it until recently?
I think that's always been like in the back of my mind,
Okay.
was to be able to write something
Right.
and be able to like hold something physically that had my
Yeah.
name on it.
Yeah.
And when I'm reading through all these amazing books, it's always like, God, I want to be able to do that too, but I don't
Mhm.
know if I'll be able to ever get to that level.
Right. Yeah.
And actually, a year, 2 years ago, I started going down and writing a nonfiction book um, about the industry that I work in, which is data analysis. And
Okay.
I was going to write a book called Data Zero to Data Hero,
Ooh.
in terms of being how the steps in order to become and strive as a data analyst. And I got into like 60 pages of this
Uh-huh.
nonfiction book, and I was just not having fun after 60 pages. I was like,
Right.
this feels like homework. Like, this is
Yeah.
not.
Oh, yeah. Right. I
So
can see that.
after that, I was like, yeah, I don't want to write anything. But when I started the BookTube channel and I was interviewing all these indie authors,
Mm-hmm.
um, and they kind of helped me kind of like take down the barrier in my mind, is that okay, I can do this as
Right.
long as I just try. And I had a scene in my mind for the longest time. So one morning I just said, I'm just gonna write something and just see what comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the very first scene in the book, is what I wrote. And
Okay.
then from there the whole world just came around it in my mind, with the characters, the whole dilemma, the plot, the twists. I was like, and now I have 4 books in mind for this
Oh,
series.
I love to
So,
hear that, man. Heck yeah.
so it's grown, and it's been a lot of fun. So
Oh,
now that I've written one, I'm already a few thousand words into book 2 so
nice.
far,
Good.
and I feel, and I mean, this is just coming from me. I feel like I've grown already from the very first draft I wrote of this book.
Right.
Because when I'm reading through, I'm like, wow, this is so much better than book number 1, at
Right.
least the
Then how
first
when you start.
version. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to see what my beta reader team thinks of it after
Heck yeah,
the
dude.
first read. So
Mhm.
I'm super excited. It's been a lot of fun, and now I can't get enough of it. So,
That's
what about
good.
you? Do you have any plans to write in the future?
Oh man. Yeah, yep, I do. That's kind of been the same here. Like that's something I've always wanted to do. I will say when like Amazon self-publishing first like got big, like gosh, it was probably like 2009, 10ish. Like around that time I feel like it was really starting to like people were starting to do it a lot. I did try my hand a little bit with like some short stories and stuff like that.
Oh
And I
wow!
did put some out there, but they're taken off and we'll never see them. Well, someday, maybe if I like go back now that I'm older and like redo them down the road. But but that's always been like my dream, is to be able to like because I'm a teacher. I would love someday to be able to retire early and just write and do booktube and like that's what I do, like
Hmm.
that would be like that'd be sweet. So I have started writing again. I actually was a nurse for a long time. Then I went back to school for teaching because that's kind of what I always really wanted to do if I had to
Hmm.
have a day job, that's what I wanted to do. So now in the summers, I have the summers off with my kids, and I started writing again. And then I decided to finally start doing the booktube thing. So yeah, my plan is I'm hoping within the next year to have something come out. So we'll see how it
Ooh,
goes. I know,
that's
I
so
know.
exciting! Wow,
I know. I'm pumped. I'm excited. So,
it's
and
the
then
natural progression of a booktuber,
I
right?
know, right? You read a lot, you talk to people who write a lot, and then you want to write a lot,
Hmm.
right? But like you are a big inspiration to me. Like I loved your channel from the start. And then when you did those the reveal things on social media, I was like, please tell me he's writing a book. That would be sick. And then when you did, I'm like, yes. And then when I saw the cover, man, I was like, I gotta get on this. I gotta read this. But it's just awesome. Like to see another booktuber go down that journey, the same journey that I want to go down. It's just a lot
Hmm.
of cool. And then getting to meet you and finding out how awesome of a dude you are. And then knowing that you're married, you have a kid, like you have a job, you're doing booktube, like you figure it out and write this amazing thing that I love. And it's like, all right, game on. You can do it too.
It's possible.
It is.
I'm sure. What genre are you leaning towards? I'm very interested now. Very intrigued.
Okay. All right, I know. It's like it's always scary.
Or is it still under the veil here? Is it still in your mind?
No. I have started writing it, and it's definitely in the fantasy setting. So I have a lot of ideas, but the one I'm starting with, I would say it's kind of like a mix of three things that I love. So it's, you could mash together if you took like First Law, because I love First Law. So a grimdark First Law world like that. And then if you,
boom,
yes, heck yeah. And then if you mix that with some ideas from Star Wars, and then you mix that with, I don't know, have you ever read Orphan X or no? It's not fantasy.
I don't think so.
Okay. Basically, that's like a it's a guy who used to be an assassin for the government, and he did a lot of bad things, but then he got out of it, and now he's trying to do good and help people. So he's known as the Nowhere Man, and he helps someone for free if they're like stuck and they're up against some evil and they can't get out of it. He'll help them, and he'll say, my payment is I want you to pass my number, 1-800-Nowhere Man or whatever, to someone else who needs help. And that's how and then he's living like it's kind of like a superhero, but like more realistic. He doesn't wear it, a uniform or anything, but he has like an what's it, not an alias, what's a superhero's secret identity. He's got like a regular plain job that it looks like he has, and he lives a boring life and tries to look very boring and normal, but then secretly he's like this awesome.
What is that called?
It's called Orphan X. It's by
the secret identity. Is there what word is that?
Well, so I know it's driving me crazy. What is that called? Is it just called Secret Identity?
Maybe.
maybe we're overthinking this, because I guess if they're a superhero like Superman, his secret identity is Clark Kent, right?
Yeah, I think it's just secret identity.
Yeah, so. I think I'm overthinking this. So yeah, anyway. So that concept of someone with a bad past trying to help people. So it's kind of those three ideas mashed together.
Whoa, that sounds exciting.
I know, I'm pretty excited. It's gonna be cool. So, yeah. So I think the big part from Star Wars is just like the concept of an evil empire, and stuff like that. But then something about Star Wars I always thought would be a cool thing to explore would be how, I guess not so much in the old ones because they were clones, but like in the later, the original movies that are technically later, and then like some of the newer stuff, the three new movies, they weren't all clones. The soldiers were people that they brainwashed or indoctrinated in to become stormtroopers, So I always thought like that concept of like, if there's this evil empire and they come through and take over these places, and then they take the young able-bodied people and they try to make them their soldiers, like what would it'd be like for that person? And then if they broke away from that, what would they do? So that's kind of the areas of Star Wars I want to explore with it, but I'm pretty excited.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what's his name? The guy that we all thought was going to be the Jedi in the new Star Wars movies, but he turned out not
like Finn, right? Yeah,
Finn. Yes,
yeah.
That's he was a stormtrooper.
Yeah. Like how he was kind of stuck in that, and he wanted to get away because he knew it wasn't right, So yeah, trying to mix all that idea, but then with like a very First Law world, so without space and all that, more of a fantasy setting, but. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. We'll see how it goes, but I'm excited.
I love it. I'm down for it. Once you get further into it, I'm here.
Oh, yeah, I will. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
That's one good thing about starting these booktube channels is that you get to make all these connections and meet all these buddies and make new friends. And they're there for you and wanting to support you and see you succeed. So that's one thing I think a lot of new and upcoming writers should look into. Is just
Oh
getting a
yeah,
support system.
building a community, yeah, like of supporters. It amazes me, like all these authors that I've just reached out to say like, hey, like I really loved your book, or oh, I'm really pumped to read your book, congrats. And then you start talking, and then also the next thing you know, they're liking your posts and they're retweeting your posts and they're going to your YouTube channel and subscribing, and you're like, what is it? And they're commenting on all your videos, and you're like, what? This is crazy. Like, it's just such a nice community. There's just, I love my, like, because I have Bearded Book Beast, my Twitter X under that, and then I have my old regular X, and it's like I don't even barely go on that anymore because it's so negative. There's so much
same thing.
stuff. I love to go onto my Bearded Book Beast one because there's just so much positivity.
I removed my
I think I'm gonna do
X. I just got rid of it.
I don't ever go on it, so I think I'm gonna do the same. But yeah, it's amazing, man, and I appreciate that. And you will definitely be someone I reach out to. So
there we go. I'm
down.
down.
I'm really excited too about like the title I came up with, but it's like it gets scary to like talk about that like out in the open because you're worried somebody out there will be like, ooh, I like that name, and then they take it, and all of a sudden you see it come out, and you're like, dang it. So I do want to tell you. I'll tell you when we're off the recording, because I think it's pretty knowledge. So I got to you have to sit on it for who knows how long. But yeah, I'm super pumped, man. It's gonna be fun.
No, I love naming. Like that's one cool thing about writing is that everything you get to name, anything fictional, you get to create a name for it. Which is why I really liked the name for this electric whip thing right here, the hypercoil.
Oh, I love that.
The sound kind of cool. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And
so yeah, I want to ask about some of that. Wait, what'd you just say? Sorry.
The Z4.
Yes, I was gonna ask about some of that stuff. Like, did you completely just make up a lot of the stuff, or is it inspired from other things, or?
It was the majority of everything was completely just made up in my mind, and then I found out that there's things out there that are already existing that are similar to it.
Right. Okay.
Like the hypercoil, this thing right here.
Yeah.
Everyone can see it. Is similar to the razor in
like Red Rising.
Red Rising, which I didn't even realize how similar they were until I was doing that live stream with like Mike and Tudor Ramble, where we were talking about Empire of Silence and Red Rising, and they talked about the razor. I was like, oh,
like, wait a minute.
It can coil around things, and I was like,
That just means you have a brilliant author mind, just like Pierce Brown. That's all that means.
I don't know about that, but
hey, man, I loved your book just as much as I love Red Rising. So don't sell yourself short, man.
I'm gonna take that little quote right there.
Put it up there. If you like Red Rising, you'll love this.
Yeah, I mean, most of it was just made up in my mind. Actually, I went back and forth with my wife a couple times. I was like, I need a cool name for this thing that does this. And then we were just going back and forth, just saying random words. I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds kind of cool, actually. And one of the things in the book, which is the piece of technology called a Viewcaster.
Yeah,
if you remember that.
Another thing I was going to ask you about. Yeah.
So that was actually inspired by a book called Hyperion. And in Hyperion, they use something called Farcasters, which is a way to teleport throughout the hegemony, the web, throughout the universe. And I wanted something that was still that was realistic in this setting, in this city. Teleportation is not realistic. So I wanted something that was very similar to teleportation in a realistic sense. I was like, I feel like something like this could come out in the future.
For sure. I thought that was super cool. I thought the same. I'm like, oh, that is awesome. Like that, because I could totally see that. I mean, it just fit in that world so well, and it was such a good way to think like that would be exactly what they would do with that technology to check out like crime scenes, but not, not always have to be there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it was sweet, man. That was awesome. So real quick, Hyperion is that your favorite book of all
Favorite
time?
book of all time.
Okay.
Love that book.
I'm excited to read it. I got the mass market paperbacks of them because I love that cover. But then when I saw Broken Binding, I'm like, yes, I'm getting that.
Thank you, Broken Binding.
I know. That's gonna be a sweet one. So yeah, I'm definitely reading that ASAP.
Yeah, it's my favorite book of all time. I actually have it tattooed right here. So that's awesome. You can't really tell what that is.
I'm trying to look here.
So that's the Yggdrasil, which is a space tree ship.
Oh, okay. So it's going down.
Yes. So like this is a tree.
Okay. Okay, I see it now.
A space bubble.
That's pretty sweet, man. Now, is there an image of that somewhere, or is that on your mind? What you pictured it?
No, there is an image for it, and if you type in Yggdrasil Hyperion, there's probably gonna be the first one that you see.
Okay.
And it's a fantastic piece of artwork, which is not canon actually. Which is like someone's like fan art, but it looks so cool. I was like, I want to get that tattooed on me because it's my favorite book of all time.
Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome.
So, I know what's that company called? The one who they're making a steel-plated version of Hyperion.
Oh gosh.
Like they're doing a giveaway. Like if you enter the giveaway, you have a chance to win the steel-plated edition of Hyperion. Curious King.
Yes, Curious King. Yeah, I'm like, who is it? It's one of the really expensive ones.
Oh, bro, I'm sure they have another version that's not steel-plated, and that's like $700, $800.
Yeah, it's still insane.
That's just there's no way I can spend that much on a book.
I know. Broken Binding is my max. I feel like theirs are pretty reasonable for how
they are very reasonable.
I feel like they're not that bad, and the shipping sucks, but it's still not that bad.
It has to come from the across the pond.
I know. We need a Broken Binding US chapter.
I mean, maybe it's possible in the future if they keep growing.
I know. I'm
down for it.
They're getting huge.
Like this whole shelf right here, that's all Broken Binding.
I know. Mine is right here.
I see it. Yeah. Very similar.
I've got a few more over there, and I'm like, man, I'm running out of room. I mean, once you get in the sub, you get one every month, but then you also are like, you see all the things that are coming out. You're like, oh, I gotta get that.
Yeah, this one right there. That's the Will the Mini.
Oh, I got that one too.
Special edition. I love that one. That's my favorite book of 2023.
I'm reading it right now, as we speak. Well, not as we speak.
No way.
Right now.
Right now.
It's so good, man. I love it. Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm like, I'm reading it right now. Just pick it up. Yeah, no. Yeah, I like that one a lot. That one is sweet. It's really good so far. I dig it. When's the sequel come out? It's coming out in 2025, right? Strength of the Few, right? It's called. So yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's been heads down into that series or the second one for a while. Right. So, I'm extremely pumped for that sequel series to come out. But I'm not gonna buy the normal edition of it.
You're gonna wait for Broken Binding.
Wait for that Broken Binding one.
I know.
If it looks like that, I mean, I'm down for it.
I know, because I haven't done that yet. When I've had the first one and then the sequel comes out, I usually just get the regular book because I want to read it, and then of course I don't because I'm reading so many things. Now I'm like, I'm the same way. I'm like, I should just wait until the Broken Binding one comes out. So I might do that too.
I'm doing it.
I think that's a good idea. Hopefully someday we see Falling into Oblivion from Broken Binding. How sick would that be? They can make a sweet special edition of your book with that cover and those color schemes. Like, I just picture like the dragon going up the sprayed edges.
That'd be crazy. Broken Binding, they can do some very cool sprayed edges. I love
man. It. It's crazy. Who did the one? Maybe it was gosh, what is that book called? That one Dragon Mage, where like if you flip the pages one way, it's one picture. If you flip them the other way, it's a different picture. Have you seen that? Oh man, is that what it's? I'm gonna look it up.
It's
I don't
with
know.
the edges, like when
Yeah,
you
the
go like
straight
this.
edges. Like if you pull them one way, it's one picture.
Oh,
You bend them the other way, it's a different
Broken
picture.
Biting did that?
No, I don't think it was Broken Binding.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. I don't think it was. Let me see who did it.
That'd be crazy. I don't even know how you do that.
I know. I'm like, I didn't even know that was possible. Oh, it's not going to be on there.
That's magic, dude.
I know. It is called Dragon Mage, but I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll have to look it up later. But I know I saw people on BookTube. I'm like, dang it. That'd been sweet to get that one. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know how they figured that out.
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense in my mind how if you paint a picture on pages, how it can look different depending on which way you turn. That's wild to me. I don't get it.
I don't know. That's crazy.
It is crazy. I guess, I mean, they're doing stuff with digital. So, I mean, I guess it's just microscopic on half of each page, I guess, or something. I don't know. That's wild. We'll see. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we talked about the book. We took a little path through memory lane about your journey and how you got here. So you said you've got 4 books planned for this series, right? So that's going to be your focus, is just going through those, or are you going to sprinkle in the middle something different, or do you have plans for like novellas? Like that's a big thing now. People are doing novellas in between books, or prequels, or short story collections, or like, do you have any in that in mind?
I do have a couple novella ideas in the same universe.
Okay.
Different characters though.
So okay, nice.
I think one I have in mind. You might know this character, Nikova.
Oh, okay.
Remember her?
Yep.
She's
I had a feeling she would have a big part in your world at some point.
She is very cool, a very cool character, because she has dual wielding hypercoils over here.
Yes,
which is
very cool.
Very BA.
Oh yeah, heck yeah!
So I have a really cool idea for a story for her.
Okay, I'm down for that.
For her journey on the strike team. So
yeah,
that's one idea I have in mind. But 4 books in total for the main series.
Like you think that'll be the whole series? Like
like
ending after 4 books?
4 entries.
Okay.
At least for
these
the characters in these.
Yeah.
In this story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because there's an end I have in mind that I think would be a great ending.
Okay.
For this particular character. So it's in my mind. We're gonna get there. One thing I'm also trying to do is keep these books relatively on the shorter side too.
Right.
All under 100K words or less, so they all still have that kind of thriller feel to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did love that, because it was, like you said, on the shorter side, but it did not feel rushed. It didn't feel like there wasn't enough, because I was going to say, you're talking about endings. Like, I love the way that this book ends, because I feel like if anyone is excited about this book, but is worried about endings or anything, don't, because this ending is sweet. And I think a lot of times endings are that you feel like when it's done, you're like, what? Or you don't like the ending, or you feel like it was abrupt or something. Like this reminded me so much of like when I was reading it. It reminded me of the way, and I feel like this is how you did it is how I think series books should be. It felt like the end of like a season of a show or something, where like it wrapped up little things, but then there's all this new big stuff where you are like, oh man, what's gonna happen next? But you were satisfied with like the little wrap ups, but then there's still so much to still go with. So I think you did an awesome job with that.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, that's the direction I was trying to go down, was that each book is going to feel episodic.
Yeah.
Feel like an episode. Yeah. Similar to the Dresden Files, right?
Yeah.
Like Dresden Files, they have an ongoing arc
story. Yep.
For Harry Dresden, but each book is like its own little episode of whatever challenges that he's faced with in that particular book, which I love.
Me too, yeah.
So that's kind of the direction I'm trying to go.
How far are you through Dresden Files?
Next month I'm doing the whole urban fantasy month.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get into book 6 in the Dresden Files.
Nice.
So still pretty not that far into it, to be honest. Like, there's a lot more
No,
books out there.
so many books, but you're in it. You're in it far enough where you're like in it now. It's not just like you're not dabbling. You're all in.
I'm in. I'm loving every second of it.
Oh yeah, I love
Urban
it.
Fantasy is awesome. Have you read his son's books?
I did. I have. I don't know if you noticed this shelf right behind me. I've got. Let me move out of the way a little. I got all the Dresden Files books. I got this,
There they are. Oh, I see them now. Mm-hmm.
And then I've got his son's right here. I read the first one. I haven't read.
I read the first one too.
Yeah, I liked it.
Next month, I'm gonna read the second one. That's gonna be my Urban Fantasy month. Where's that?
I feel like those are nice, quick. That was a nice, quick read too. The first one. Let's see that stat.
There it is.
There it is. Yep.
Oh.
Yes, I want to. Yeah, I do want to try. I did want to try to read that one this fall too because I like the first one. I thought it was fun. I know.
Buddy read without even thinking about it. It's happening.
Let's do it. So it's, once I saw that was careful there. Careful.
I dropped the stack.
Man, that's the scariest thing when that happens.
Oh,
nothing's worse than when a book falls and then you look and like the jacket's all like crinkled on the corner or something like that, and you're like, ugh, dang it.
And then I'm reading this one too next month.
Yes, I got that one too.
Look at that. See?
Oh man.
Wow.
I actually hold on, I gotta show you.
And by the way, these covers right here by Chris McGrath.
Yes, man.
Freaking love him as a cover artist. He's some of my favorite artwork.
Me too. I actually when this came out and I saw it was him, I just reached out to him just to say, dude, I just want you to know, like, you're one of my favorite cover artists. Your stuff's awesome. And then we chatted for a while. He's such a cool dude.
That's so cool.
Wow. See what I mean? Like when you get on BookTube and you're like, I'm just gonna reach out and see if he responds. That would have been something I never would have considered doing before now, you know? But okay, so I got the same book you do, right?
Yes.
But then I couldn't help myself because I was talking to the author and she told me about the hardcover. Have you seen
the hardcover?
Yes, watch this though. Okay, here it is, dust jacket, right? Looks the same.
Yeah.
Watch this naked hardcover. Are you ready for this?
I'm about to have some magic happen right here.
You are. Are you ready?
Okay.
Naked hardcover.
Oh. That's like a reverse color aspect going on. I
know, right?
That's pretty cool.
I know. So which is
metal bookmark over here too.
Yes, of course. Hold on. I think it's I don't know where mine is. Oh no.
Since we're kind of far into this video right here, I wanted to show you some little goodies that I have for people who do buy the signed.
All right, yes, please.
Paperbacks.
I was going to ask you that eventually. You beat me to it. Let's see what you got.
So we got a nice holographic sticker of our boy Soul.
That's sweet, man.
So that thing is cool. But the next thing is even cooler.
Oh god, cooler than that?
We have a little dragon keychain here.
Get the heck out of here. Dude, that is sick.
Where's that?
I can see it. I can see. Oh yeah.
There he is.
That is sweet.
Oh.
There it is. There it is.
Little dragon keychain here.
That's cool. How'd you get those made? What? Hold on. How did you find a way to make those? Like, what did you use a certain company or what? Those are
it's a company called Sticker Mule.
I've heard of Sticker Mule. Okay.
And
good to know.
They just have a custom keychain like option for you to select.
Okay.
I was like, I'm just gonna see what it looks like because I have no idea what the quality is gonna be.
Oh yeah.
And it turned out fantastic. Like I have one on my keychain, I have one on my wife's keychain.
Well, I'm about to have one on mine. Oh yes.
Too.
Dude, I love bookmarks.
And then
modifications come at a price, dude. Nice.
There it is.
That's all right. When is this pre-order with goodies gonna happen?
It's actually live now.
Get the heck out. What?
The link is live. I don't have the books on me though, so I haven't really promoted it just yet. Okay. But
shoot, now you're gonna get a rush of all the not that many people that watch my stuff are gonna go right into it. But I'm getting on it as soon as I get off this chat with you, man. Heck yeah.
There we go. I'm excited.
Dude. So is it through so if they go to maybe I'll just have you give me the link after this. I'll put it down underneath.
Yeah, it's payhip.com
Okay.
/bibliotheory.
Oh, okay. That's not hard to remember. Let me
It's also on my link tree. Like on my link tree.
Okay, so I'll get it from there then. That's easy. Just in case people aren't on on the socials.
But eventually, when I do have the books in hand, I'm gonna take some really cool photos.
Oh heck
and
yeah!
then try to promote it a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm excited just to get the book because I haven't even talked about the book. Like I haven't even made a video myself on the channel just yet.
You haven't?
No.
That's crazy.
It should be.
When you started to say that, I'm like, it's true.
So I'm gonna make a video. Like it's gonna be titled something like "I wrote a book," and then that's what I'm actually gonna talk about and unbox the actual.
Oh yes, that's a brilliant idea.
Final editions.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna do.
Heck yeah, dude! Then we can see your reaction, seeing that baby for the first time.
It's gonna be awesome,
dude. That's sweet. All right, are you doing? I know you've got the paperback. Are you gonna do hardcovers eventually? You think?
I got one right here. Yeah.
No way.
We got hardcovers over here. Hold on.
Let me see it. I gotta see it.
There it is.
Man. So that's naked hardcover art.
That's it.
Oh, dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, this is the proof edition right here.
Right.
But it turned out great.
It did. I'll say that looks awesome.
So yeah, there's the hardcover.
Oh, dude. All right. I know what I'm getting.
Which looks awesome. I just for whatever reason I like the smaller feel of the paperback.
When I'm reading, I love paperback, but like if I'm gonna, I don't know, hardcovers on, especially those like naked hardcovers like that with the art. It's so hard to not just want to have them to look at.
I know.
But I do enjoy reading paperbacks more than I do hardcovers. I love a good floppy paperback, man. Now you went with the did you do the 5x8 size or whatever? 5x7? 5x8? Yeah.
5x8.
I like
paperback.
That. Yep. I like that.
Yeah, same as this one. And also Sledge versus Labyrinth.
Yes. Have you read that?
That was my first 2024 read, and I had a blast.
Me too. I read it
so much fun.
It was so much fun. And Nick, what a dude, man. He's awesome. He cracks me up.
Yeah, the whole descent thing in Sledge versus the Labyrinth was actually a little bit of an inspiration in my book as well.
Okay. Yeah.
For when you descend.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
Well, yeah. Early on when he goes to a certain place. Yes. Yeah.
So thank you, Nick.
Right. Thanks for the idea. Oh man. Dude, that is sweet. That's gonna be awesome. I'm sure you're pumped. How many because you're sending out those like with the book, so how many little dragons and stickers, little Sauls do you have right now?
About 50 of them, but I can always get more though.
Okay.
But, I got enough to where I feel like it's gonna be a good buffer room.
Maybe not,
but we'll see. I don't know.
Let's hope not. Let's hope that you're like, oh shoot, I gotta buy 1,000.
I need more little dragons.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. I can't wait. I'm definitely getting that stuff. Now, do you have to get are you gonna get special like packaging? Like do you have to get special boxes?
I do have special packaging for it as well.
Oh,
so
man.
I'm all set up, man. I'm ready.
Dude, you are good. All right, what's going on the inside? Are you doing the confetti?
Something kind of like that.
Okay.
A little bit more neon.
Oh, nice. Well, it's gotta be.
When you're a cyberpunk, you gotta have some neon.
You gotta have the neon. Oh, that's cool. What made you? I guess we can go. I do want to go back a little bit. So, first of all, what would you say is your favorite genre?
Sci-fi.
Okay, sci-fi. And then, is your favorite subgenre of sci-fi cyberpunk? Then,
I think it is.
Okay.
It's cyberpunk, but I also just like normal
I know, because
like
you love
sci-fi adventure.
Hyperion. So
But I can always get behind a cyberpunk book
oh heck yeah.
because like the genre itself has so many parallels to real world life
Oh yeah,
and
for
like where
sure.
we are today. And I love how like so many aspects, so many of the themes that are explored in that genre can be easily transferred and related back to where we are today, with a little bit of fictional tech sprinkled in there as
Oh
well
yeah.
to
Yeah.
make it more exciting. But
Exactly.
the ideas are very similar to what's going on today. Like I
Right.
just had a discussion with Adrian and Gibson
Oh yeah.
and Adam Massa a couple weeks ago, where
Okay.
we just talked cyberpunk for an entire hour. Just the technology that we see in these books and
Right.
like what's out today, like with Elon Musk's
Oh yeah.
Neuralink. I mean,
Right. It's
that's
crazy.
modifications in its finest, right? I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that's not fiction. I mean, that's here. It's
It
insane.
is. Yeah. So what made you decide to do cyberpunk? Like, do you think that was just where you when you started thinking about this idea, had you read like a cyberpunk book? Do you think that got you thinking about stuff, or
I
why
think,
do you
yeah,
think that was where you went?
if I were to write anything, at least in the beginning, it would
Mhm.
have to be cyberpunk. That's just the genre that really excites me the most.
Yeah.
I love the aesthetic. I love the themes, the ideas explored in the genre. Uh, except one of the things I love the most is like the idea of what makes someone human, right?
Hmm.
Exploring that idea,
Right.
and that's kind of something that I wanted to focus on a little bit in terms of people either focusing on technology or focusing on the human side of
Yeah.
themselves or like
Hmm.
family, right?
Right.
And I just freaking love neon, the whole aesthetic, as you can tell behind me, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like
Yep. Yep.
that was just something that just always appealed to me. Blade Runner 2049 is my favorite movie of all time.
Oh heck
I
yeah.
have the poster right here.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Um, the book itself, "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep," is one of my favorite books.
Okay.
So it's just a genre that's always called to me. So I wanted to write something in that genre,
In that genre.
but
Yeah.
also add a little bit of a fantasy element to it. So
Yeah.
I was trying to also appeal to more people because some
Mhm.
people do not read sci-fi because they only think or they think that sci-fi is hard sci-fi where it's just strictly
Right.
in
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
It's technology driven,
Right.
idea driven, not story driven.
Yeah.
That's why I brought in this whole creature bot aspect of it too. I mean, cyber dragons. How can you say no to that?
Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome.
So
That was very well done in the book too. I will say, not to spoil anything, but
that was so much
that
fun
was
to
awesome.
write.
I'm sure that was fun to write. Oh man. Shoot. What else was I gonna ask about that? It just fell out of my head when you mentioned Cyber Dragon. That's all I could think of. Um, shoot. Dang it. Oh, I was just gonna say yes. I would say I could see that totally. The fantasy. It's almost like an like you said, an urban fantasy in a cyberpunk world.
Mhm.
Like very sweet. It was awesome. Well done, my friend.
Thank you.
You have a lifetime booktube friend and you have a lifetime reader, lifelong reader here
Yes.
because
Bearded book friends
that's right.
forever.
Boom. um, but for real, like if I was still just not on booktube and I didn't get to chat with you and stuff and I just read your book, I would be like, oh, this dude's an autobi author for me now.
Wow.
So you are. If I made a list, you
Bro,
would be on it.
if you said that earlier, I would have put that quote right here on the beginning pages.
Yes. Dang it. Ah, I missed my shot.
It's okay. We'll save
Book
it for
two.
book
Book
2.
two.
There we
Yes.
go.
Oh man. All right. Well, oh, you know what? I have to do something real quick. I was having so much fun talking to you. I forgot to for the rest of the small amount of time we're talking.
Oh,
If you want to pre-order Falling into Oblivion and also subscribe to Bibliotheory, Aaron's YouTube channel, the links will be in the description down below, so that you can do so because It's good. It's good. His channel's awesome. As you can tell from this conversation, he's hilarious. He's very genuine, authentic dude. His channel's awesome. And his book, you heard me gush about it. And there'll be some, probably when this comes out, there'll be some little shorts of me talking about how much I loved his book. And to come soon in a wrap up, I will talk about his book as well. And it's an awesome book, and you guys will love it. I know, because we all like the same things. That's why you're watching this. So get his book, subscribe to his channel. You will not regret either one.
Awesome.
Heck
Thank
yeah.
you, man. Thank you so much for having me, hosting me, talking for over an hour about.
I know.
It's kind of crazy, because like I've been talking to authors for a little bit on my channel too.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like I'm on the other end. It feels weird. It feels different.
Say, what is that like? It's weird, but it probably feels sweet though, right? To know that you are.
It still don't feel real. It doesn't feel real yet, to be honest.
I know.
But
you're an author getting interviewed by a reviewer who loved your book. That's sweet.
Thank you. Yes.
You made it, man. You made it. There you are.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate the time. I had a blast.
Same here, man. I appreciate you. I've got 4 kids and they're older now. I'm out of the baby stage, but I know how busy that is. So I appreciate you making the time to chat with me. It really means a lot.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go put her down to bed now because she's a night owl. So
that's good. That's good. How does she sleep? Does she sleep good during the night now?
So good. Good.
That's awesome. What
like
time?
A solid 12 hours, which is awesome.
Dude, that is amazing.
So,
has she always been a good sleeper? I mean, when they're little, they're gonna wake up when they need to eat, when they go to the bathroom, all that. But
pretty good. It's been great.
That's awesome.
I know it's really dependent, or depends on the kid, right?
Yeah,
in terms of
100%
their sleep cycles. But I hear some stories. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I know. And because are you guys gonna have more?
Well, we'll see.
Plan eventually.
We'll see.
Well, the door's not
we'll see how this book does.
Having more. Yeah, right. You heard that. If you want him to be able to have more kids, buy his book. Oh man, because even I have 4, and they were all different types of sleepers. So you just never know what you're gonna get, man. So that's awesome. That's a great first baby to sleep good like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're getting up at 5 a.m. to write a book. So
lucky. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's awesome, dude. Well, again, I appreciate it. I'll give you one last thing to say about your book to just let people know something about it or about your channel.
Let's see. If you like action, if you like mysteries, if you like cyber dragons, if that appeals to you at all, and if you like the Dresden Files or Blade Runner, I think you'll enjoy falling into Oblivion.
I agree.
I hope you do. I'm so happy that, Chris, you enjoyed it. It means the world. And hopefully everyone else, I know every book is not for everybody, but I hope you enjoy it. And thank you, Chris, for having me on again.
You're welcome. No problem. So, all right, BCs, that's all we got for you. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll chat again, especially when book 2 is getting ready to come out, or if we do that buddy read of Long Past Dues. I think that's what it's called. Yes, by James Butcher. We'll do a little chat about that. But thank you again for coming, and thank you, Beasties, for watching. As I say per usual, until I see you in the next one, devour those TBRs, be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be beastly. We'll see you.
Peace.